Pete! What's up, people? What's happening? Look, these are my new teeth. My new teeth. Yes, this is a dog toy, and I put it on my mouth, but I love my dog, all right? So don't you dare tell me that she's dirty. You don't know what you're talking about.
Wordman's back in it.
Wordman's back in it. What's up, Gary?
Some spaghetti.
Nice. Spaghetti.
I'm sorry.
How's everyone doing? All right, I was going to step off real quick to go get some food, and I'm going to do some business. And that business is to tell you who we are. We're Fat Jack's Comicrypt, sometimes called the Latchkey Manifesto, sometimes called Up Against the Wall, sometimes called the Trickster and the Fool, sometimes called some other name I came up with while I was drunk one night, and some other name that I sometimes think is fun. Who knows? But it doesn't matter, because I'm Brendan. That's Al. We're here in Philadelphia, hanging out at Fat Jack's Comicrypt here in Center City. And we're here to primarily sell comics, but we probably talk a little bit too much. So technically, we talk and sell comics. So for anyone who is interested, actually, let's first say when we do sell comics, the nature of the business is we need you to hit us in the chat and be as detailed as possible about which books you want to claim. Oh, Zane is in the chat. Thank you, Zane. Thank you. My spirit animal, I appreciate it. You're my friend, man. So when I call you your spirit animal, truly, do not be dehumanized. Always good to see everyone. Thank you very much. For anyone who is hanging out with us at the local show, we appreciate you following us over. Like I said before, we are going to kind of go through a couple books that were on that show prior. Just to kind of give anyone who might be watching us, who doesn't normally follow us over. I still can't figure out if the audience is all different. At this point, I'm convinced it's the same group of guys, and I really appreciate you.
I think we got some new people already.
Oh, do we have some new people?
I don't think Mr. Morris was watching us last hour.
Oh, I think Mr. Morris missed out on a little book called Black Lightning #1.
It's over in the sold pile.
I think it's in the sold pile. So unless his beautiful daughter bought him that, is that
This is it. This is the one.
Maybe some people should watch both shows. And no, there is no excuse that you have a family you have to take care of. I mean, come on, people. I mean, what else is there to do in life but to hang out with two idiots and talk and buy comics?
This doesn't say if a seedy individual owned it first. So
No.
I don't know if he's interested in that because he only likes.
It doesn't have that same stink.
It's definitely yes. He Duke's like no. That definitely sold.
No, yeah, that definitely sold. Our boy Duke pulled the trigger on that one. He's like, I want that first appearance of Tobias Whale. What the hell is Tobias
Duke's on a
Whale?
special plan. He doesn't pay when he picks it up.
No.
He gets some money extra later.
No. Duke gets paid,
paid
to
to
take
take his
books
book.
from us.
Duke's like, yeah, I'll take the book and the price of the book, please.
Yeah. Inside joke.
You do not want to switch. You want to stay there with your family. Mr. Morris.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We don't have a big plan for the show tonight. We're just going to talk about some books. We do have some. We got some holdovers from last week's X-Men stuff. Maybe we'll get to that. We got a bunch of fun little bundles. We got Planetary. I don't know. We just got stuff. We got a bunch of things we're doing over here. Obviously, a lot of you probably recognize some of that Thor stuff. Some of that is obviously connected to the Loki series that's going on. So, you have an opportunity at that. I don't know. I went on a real Strange Tales kick this week. So we'll have fun kind of rooting through some of that stuff. Don't get too excited, except for this one. Most of them are not in the quote-unquote best condition. So if you're looking just to have some fun, weird Marvel books, they're here for you. Maybe fill some holes, whatever the case may be. If anyone is watching us who's never seen this before, we do ship books. Obviously, if you're in the Philadelphia area, you can pick them up here at the shop. Or if you're in the Jersey, Oakland area, you will send them over to the Jersey shop for you to pick up. But if you are outside of the area and need books to be shipped, we need you to hit us up on our email. That is fjccshow@gmail.com. You will get in contact with Al here, who's handling all of the unfun heavy lifting. He'll help you out. And when it comes to shipping or the whole way it works again, Al?
If for the first item you claim, it's $7, and then we'll kind of combine costs past that. So we're not going to charge you $7 for each item. And any kind of special shipping requests or anything, like if you're going, a lot of people go on vacation, so we're holding a lot of books, but they're still, paying for them so that when they come back. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Any questions, you can hit us up in the email, or if you have a list of books you're looking for, hit it up in the email. I'm happy to ship. We're happy to ship books that are not on the show if we have them in stock.
I mean, I'm not happy about anything, but I will pretend to be happy to ship anything because
I'm happy about not having to do a show on the 4th of July. How about you?
That is true. For anyone who was wondering before, 4th of July is a Sunday this year, and we're not working it.
No. And I don't think anybody's working it.
Yeah.
So enjoy your 4th of July.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe I'll I won't tease it. Maybe it'll be a surprise.
Don't tease that without checking with your life mate.
Oh, yes. My partner might not be happy knowing that I suddenly decided.
You finally got a holiday off, and no. I'm going to do a show.
Yeah. You know that problem you have in our relationship where I'm not around as much to do family stuff and hang out with loved ones? I've decided to screw us over again and work on 4th of July. Volunteer, yeah.
Shout out to Kyle, who will be doing programming on 4th of July.
Yes.
So
because Kyle is the experienced warrior. He is the trooper. He is carrying it on his back. Kyle, always appreciate all your help.
He's the straw that stirs the drink.
He is the straw that stirs the drink. Also, I just want to give everyone a heads up in terms of new social media news. Fat Jacks is about a decade behind the times. We now officially have an Instagram page. That page is at the FJC Paradox. Now, just to let you know, the profile name has the in it. Okay, so it is the FJC Paradox, or you can. Yep, there it is.
Correct.
Or if you're on the Instagram app or website, you can also search for Fat Jack's Comicrypt. It should show up. Primarily, it just began this week, so it's a work in progress. But most likely. A lot of out of context comic book images and movie images and music and photos of my dog and cats because I can't help myself. But also, we're going to attempt to do some promotion for the shows here. Not just the ones on Sunday, but the ones that Al and Mike do on the Comic Shopping Network.
And this Tuesday, special guest star.
Oh, yeah.
Special guest host Tuesday morning from 10 to 12 on the Comic Book Shopping Network.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
If anyone doesn't get enough of me, this Tuesday, because I am now in the throes of my 3 weeks without a day off. Eric, the other manager. He is away on a much needed vacation this week. So I'll be here covering for him this entire time. Hey, I don't know. I'm giving him some credit. We've talked to Mike, and Mike gleefully said,
Mike said, I don't want to do a show on the 4th either.
So anyway, this Tuesday on the Comic Book Shopping Network, when Mike and Al usually do the 10 to 12, instead it's going to be Al and I doing the 10 to 12 this Tuesday. So anyone who's looking for just
the breakfast show, he's going to be on the breakfast
show. Yeah, I'm going to be on the breakfast show. There you go. We're going to drink a lot of coffee, not spiked with whiskey, because that's very unprofessional. Even though everything in my genetics and bloodstream screams out, you better Irish that coffee.
I assure everybody that that's the closest thing we have to personal Instagrams. So there's nothing else.
Yeah, that's it, guys.
Whatever he's you can. I don't partake.
Yeah. So, but if you want to, if you're on Instagram and you want to tag us in pictures and stuff like that, it's the FJC Paradox.
That's cool.
You want to hit us up and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, at some point, once I kind of figure it out a little bit better how it all works, I'm hoping to maybe try to sell some books on Instagram, especially stuff that we showcase here on the show. I don't know, just kind of expand the audience or just be more proactive in communicating with everybody.
If there are any 14-year-olds watching, we need help with Instagram.
Yes, please.
So just come in during the week and buy you Shake Shack.
Yes, very much so. Hey, Al, real quick before we move on too fast, I'm curious if you can guess. So I posted a few characters, images on the Instagram so far. Characters like Namor, the Hulk, the New Warriors, Major Bummer, Nexus, Cloak and Dagger, Doctor Strange. Who do you think, out of all those characters, has gotten the most likes so far? And just so we're clear, I have never used a hashtag before in my entire life until this week.
Now, when you say you post it, you put pictures up and then you hashtag them?
Oh, yeah. They're all hashtagged. That's why, because they're not people following me. It's just stuff that pops in, I guess, however hashtags work. Yes, I'm a 42-year-old man who doesn't know how social media works.
I mean, I couldn't even guess.
You couldn't even guess?
I would say
Hash brown. That's
Loki.
Good. Loki. All right, good one. I didn't put a Loki, but
who knows?
No, the one that actually got the most likes, Nexus.
Really?
Yes, dude, Nexus.
Because they probably thought you created this.
My argument is that it was a really beautiful Adam Hughes cover, and so I hashtag Adam Hughes.
You didn't even put up Steve Root Nexus.
No. I know, but the first comment I think I ever got on the Instagram page was a dude saying, "Hey man, I love Steve Root's art, really clean." And I had a moment where I started to text, comment back to him. And my girlfriend looks at me and goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I'm replying to a comment." And she's like, "Stop, don't do that." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "See that heart right there? Just hit that. It's a nice thank you and let it go." And I was like, "What? I can't have long conversations with everyone who acknowledges our existence." Oh no, that's not how social media works.
You gotta start your own page for that, buddy.
Yes, that's very true. All right, so I think that's the business, folks. So what? We've got something going on?
If anybody's ever gotten a text from him,
oh,
you know what he's talking about already.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. My phone gets heavier when I get text from him. I get like a memory alarm goes off.
Well, if it means anything, dude, that comment back to that dude, it was getting to that point. I think that's why Angela noticed. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm commenting back."
I'm going to be truthful. It took like 3 sittings to read the initial Facebook post about the Instagram page.
Hey, what are you talking about? I love when Robot Marshall crawls out of the box and deems us with his presence.
I had to plug the computer in. The battery was dying. It took so long. Yeah, where's Robot Marshall in the chat?
Yeah, where's Robot Marshall? Well, at least where's the person he was created off of, you know? Where's our Simon Williams? Marshall, say hello.
As a quick aside, before we get into business, I want to thank Brendan for the Instagram and keeping up with all this, because it's something. So if you guys could like and subscribe to all that, because he is putting some work into it and he doesn't want it to go unnoticed. And for the experience, we need likes and subscribes and shares, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have an Instagram if it wasn't for him. And
well, thank you.
It's very hard for him to take that on camera.
Yeah, I feel very uncomfortable.
It's a lot of fun for me to do this on camera.
Yeah, and hey, for anyone who doesn't know me, I had to get wasted off of whiskey before I was able to even try out hashtags because I was so mad at myself. I'm like, "Oh, this is so thirsty. I don't want to. I'm begging for attention. It's not about you, Brendan. It's about the store. But I'm the one who has to do it, and I'm the one who gets screwed up by the dopamine rushing."
It's an exciting time to be alive.
It's a very exciting time. Yeah. All right. So before we lose too much time and we're suddenly faced with a break, which is probably in 5 minutes, let's just quickly run through the stuff that we did talk about in the local. If there's anybody who didn't watch the local and you want to know more about these books, hit us up in the chat so I'll kind of come back around. But I just want to quickly do this real quick. As many as you know, the Black Widow movie is coming out, and the big main villain that's going to be a part of that is Taskmaster. Here we have Avengers 1980, issue 196, the first full appearance of Taskmaster. This is a fine minus copy at $100. Now, I don't want to get too caught in the weeds, but I just want to say, in the same way that we had an issue with the Dark Phoenix saga last week, the main issue with the condition that affected its grading is something that I think of as a printing mistake, and that is the whole thing when the sheets of pages come off the printing press. Sometimes the printing press catches the small corner and sort of yanks the sharp corner off. Well, there's a couple pages in that issue that are missing. They're very fine, small, little sharp corners, okay? So again, that's a fine minus copy at $100. Anyone who's been watching the Loki show, there's been a lot of rumors about the female Loki and all that kind of stuff. This is considered the first full appearance, actually the first appearance of female Loki. This is Thor from 2007, issue number 5. Very fine near mint copy at $40. This is also the J. Scott Campbell variant, which seems to be more in demand.
Isn't that because he does draw male characters, like male covered?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a thing?
I don't know if this is true. Somebody told me that it was like the first solo male character that he drew on a cover, because like he was primarily known, if you ever drew men, there would also be more women than the men. I don't know if that's true, but it is true that J. Scott Campbell does not draw that many solo men variant covers. Okay. Now we also have 2 more Thor variants, but they're from a completely different run of Thor, and that is the Donny Cates run. And those 2 issues are both issue number 1 from the Donny Cates run, okay? So the first one is a 1 in 100 variant, referred to as the Jack Kirby Hidden Gem variant. This is a very fine near mint copy at $60. And then we have the 1 in 200 variant. This is the Art Germ, also I'm pretty sure known as Stanley Lau.
Oh, that was confirmed.
That was confirmed, okay. But his artist name is Art Germ. That's what he's more known for. But this is the 1 in 200 Art Germ Virgin variant. This is a very fine near mint copy at $75. We also have from that run a big speculation book, even though the heat's a little mild at the moment. But again, don't count Donny Cates out. He's going to surprise you, and this book's going to probably jump. This is Thor number 5. This is the first appearance of the Black Winter. This is a very fine near mint copy at $40. We then, real quick, because we just talked about Loki, I'm going to point out we've definitely had these on the show before, but I just want to give everyone another opportunity in case you're interested. This is Vote Loki, issue number 2 by Trad Moore. This is obviously an homage to Captain America number 1, where you have Steve Rogers punching out Loki as if he was Hitler, and the Falcon over here saying, "Bad for America." Yes, I would say that is true. Very fine near mint, $6. And then we have 2 variants. This is the Vote Loki propaganda poster variant for issue number 3. This is a very fine near mint copy at $20. And then we get the Dave Johnson variant with the Jane Foster Thor being very upset when a Loki bumper sticker was put on Mjolnir. This is the variant for issue number 2. Excuse me. Vote Loki number 2, very fine near mint, $20. And then we have Vote Loki number 3. This is the Trad Moore Loki Kisses a Baby. Yay! Just like every other good politician who's a big old fat liar. Very fine near mint at $6. And then last but certainly not least, the final Vote Loki number 4, Trad Moore cover, American flag, the American bald eagle. I mean, it's so American. I can't imagine no one would vote for him. It is a very fine near mint at $6. And then there's fireworks behind him. I mean, come on, man. Isn't that the most American thing you've ever seen? And then the last bit of books that we had on our local show that we're going to get through real quick is Amazing Adventures number 12, featuring the Beast. This is a very fine minus copy at $35. We then have issue number 13 of Amazing Adventures. This is Beast fighting the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, who also contains my favorite Brotherhood of the Evil Mutant, Unis. You can't go wrong with a dude who wears a complete red cardigan, leotard, like thigh-high boots, and his name is Unis. Anyway, this is a fine plus copy at $22. We then have issue number 14, Amazing Adventures. This is Beast fighting Iron Man again for some reason. This is a fine plus copy at $19. We then also, what I learned in our last show, is the first appearance of Griffin. This is Amazing Adventures number 15. This is a fine minus copy at $17. Beast is starting to look more blue than gray finally. And a very iconic cover in terms of like reprints and stuff like that, it is Amazing Adventures number 16, The Beast vs. Juggernaut, where a bunch of Avengers and Spider-Man and Fantastic Four look on and watch them get choked out because that's what friends do. This is a very fine minus copy at $38. All right, so that is our run through of a lot of the books that we have sort of carried over from our local show. So with that said, okay, so we have a good amount of minutes before our actual first break. I see it's 6:23. So what we're going to do is up until the break and coming out of the break, we're going to talk about these strange tales that we have here. Now, a bunch of these strange tales do take place during sort of the heyday of the title, where you have the Human Torch for a little bit. Then you had Doctor Strange. Then you started getting Doctor Strange with Nick Fury. And then later it became the Golem. And then later, even from that, it became reprints of old Marvel monster books. And then even later after that, you start getting into reprints of earlier Strange Tales adventures. I mean, think about it this way. Okay, so this issue right here, Strange Tales 194, this has a reprint of 2 Strange Tales. One of those Strange Tales is this one right here, 133. So, but we'll get to that. And the last thing we'll get to when we're talking about our Strange Tales is we got a couple bundles up here because Strange Tales Volume 2 was sort of reborn in 1987, primarily starring Cloak and Dagger and Doctor Strange, with usually a third story, sometimes Punisher, sometimes Power Pack, sometimes Dazzler, a bunch of stuff. Okay, so I have a bunch of notes here because I did want to make sure that we talked about, because again, the conditions aren't the best, a lot of this stuff, but I want to be able to at least acknowledge why a lot of these issues are a lot of fun, kind of weird. Plus, it's also a fun celebration of Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Don Heck. It's all that kind of stuff.
So
yes,
real quick. So
yeah, of course.
To Ashley in the chat, they're either $6 or $20 depending on the issue of Vote Loki that you're looking at.
Yeah. So let me point out real quickly here. Okay, so these two, the propaganda cover and the cover with Jane Foster Thor, those are both 1 in 25 variants. So they're both $20. This cover of issue number 2, this is issue number 3, this is issue number 4. These are both $6. They are the cover A Thad Moore covers. Okay? So that's that.
Cool. And Amazing, this is from Zane, and
yeah.
Amazing 16 is actually an unofficial crossover with DC Comics.
Justice
League 103 and Thor.
The one with Juggernaut?
So Justice League of America 103, Thor 207, and Amazing 16 is part of the unofficial DC crossover.
No way! Why? Like what? Zane, give us more information.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't. Don't just throw out some issue numbers and say it's an official crossover and then leave us hanging. What makes it an official crossover? Is it like certain characters? Is there a theme or something like that? Let us know, man. I'm actually really curious. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to sit back and go, tell me more. Let me sit here and have another drink and take a rest and sit down. All right, so let us move on to some of the earlier Strange Tales that we have. Definitely not that, what was it, Strange Tales 103, first appearance of Doctor Strange?
110.
110, that's right. Oh, actually, so this one takes place prior to Doctor Strange being part of the series. Is that true? Yeah, it kind of seems that way. I don't know. All right, but anyway, but let's talk about this one. Okay, so this is Strange Tales issue number 105. All right, so this is from 1963. This is the second appearance of the Wizard. His first appearance is actually Strange Tales 102. In this issue, Johnny Storm creates a flame duplicate to trick his sister Sue, allowing him to go after the Wizard. Here's my only issue with that. Sue is a bright young woman. Johnny creates a flame duplicate. What the hell is a flame duplicate? No, I get it. It's like a mannequin that is flaming and stuff like that, but was like Sue talking to him and then thought he was such a dumbass that she believed that he wasn't speaking back? Or is it even more diabolical? And he actually left his flaming duplicate in his bed looking like he was asleep. And Sue's just like, yes, that's normal for Johnny. He definitely lays in bed and takes naps while fully inflamed, setting his entire bed and bedroom on fire. So I really feel bad, and I really feel that Stan Lee and Larry Lieber really let down Sue Storm, because if she bought that bullshit, then I mean, come on, guys. Women are much more intelligent than that and much more observant. Anyway, in this issue, you do get some art from Jack Kirby, Don Heck, and Steve Ditko, which makes you think, yeah. All right. Next up is Strange Tales 133. Now we are deep into the Doctor Strange being one of the main stories, and we are at the tail end now of Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, being part of Strange Tales. In this issue, the Puppet Master gets plastic surgery so he can fool the Human Torch and the Thing. What I'm curious about is what kind of plastic surgery? I mean, was it a facelift? Did he kind of get an entirely new nose? I mean, are we talking Jennifer Aniston Leprechaun compared to Jennifer Aniston Friends? I mean, like, how the heck did he get so much work done that the Human Torch and the Thing were not able to tell who the hell that of course, that's the Puppet Master. But whatever. Comics didn't really need that much semblance of logic to make a story go. And so forth, it goes.
You don't think those guys foresaw you standing here talking about that book?
I'm pretty sure
60 years after
those guys forgot the moment that they sent that to the printer
like,
that they ever even did that book.
I bet in like 60 years, two guys from Philly will be trying to sell this to five people.
Yeah. Some two idiots are being really snarky about our life's work. Those jack tools have never done anything with their lives, and yet they're sitting there criticizing us. But for anyone who wants to know, both of the stories are written by Stan Lee. Obviously, Steve Ditko, he did the Doctor Strange, and a gentleman by the name of Bob Powell. So I actually don't recognize the name. Do you?
Bob Powell. He did he did all those collections over there, Frankenstein. Stuff like that.
Oh, for real? That's Bob Powell?
I mean,
Okay.
he did a lot of.
I'm not good at this.
He did a lot of horror kind. I don't know what he's like most known for.
All right, kind of monster stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
like EC.
All right. Well, he was doing the Thing in the Human Torch, being beat by a rhinoplasty puppet master. All right.
So the Legion, just real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know, what was it?
Legion.
What was the cross? Oh, Amazing Adventures with the Thor.
Yeah.
It was part of the characters and creators from both companies appearing in the comics during the 72 Rutland Halloween Parade. Steve Englehart, Len Wein, Gary Conway all appear in the 3 books.
Okay, so the crossover is the meta fiction of the actual comic writers and artists being a part of a parade.
I guess so.
That takes place. Okay, all right, that's clever.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. Snyder, if you're listening, thank you so much for all of your wonderfully kind, constructive criticism, a la crawling down my throat. I forgot to mention the grade and price of this Strange Tales 105. It is a very good copy at $80. This Strange Tales 133 is a very good copy at $24. And now we move on to a good minus copy at $5. Yes, you heard it here, folks. It's a reader copy. This is Strange Tales 137 from 1965. Now we officially, the Human Torch is gone, and I'm not saying that it starts in this issue, but from this point on for a while, it's going to be a dual series between Nick Fury and Doctor Strange. So for the next few issues, it's going to primarily be Nick Fury covers. So anyway, this issue, Hydra launches a Betatron bomb, which sounds like a really bad Betamax, like VHS machine or whatever. And Doctor Strange combats the Ancient One's psychic defenses. At one point, this book was really hot for speculators. I have no idea why. I asked somebody why, and they said, I don't know. Stop bothering me with questions. I have real work to do. And I went, okay. But hey, man, the prize is Earth. Anyway, you do get in this issue, we have Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko doing all of the writing. Also, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, and John Severin does all the art. And we also have a beautiful John Severin cover. Okay. And then next up, before we go to a break. Okay. No, actually, Kyle, if you're ready, let's just go to a break, and then we'll get right back to our Strange Tales. Hey everybody, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back. It's Fat Jax, Comicrypt, Brendan, Sal. We're doing things. We're selling comics. We're bouncing balls. We're having a good time.
It's a different color.
TVs, baby. What's that?
It's a different color.
Oh, it is a different color. We've changed up our design. We're cool. We're awesome. All right, so let's step back into the Strange Tales world of Marvel Comics in the 60s. All right, so next up we have actually a key issue. It's just not in the best condition. All right, this is a good copy at $6 of Strange Tales 141 from 1966. This is the first appearance of the villains Mentallo and the Fixer. Also, Dormammu banishes Clea, and Baron Mordo tries to plant a bomb in Doctor Strange's home. Also, for anyone who's interested, S.H.I.E.L.D. Names their new ESP division Operation Bomb Blast, because that's imaginative. And just so we're clear, you have a psychic division, and it's called Operation Bomb Blast. I mean, what does that have to do with like mental powers or being a psychic or reading minds or anything like that?
Psychic bomb.
Psychic bomb. Boom, boom, boom. Anyway, boom, written by Stan Lee. Yeah, this is a pure Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko art. So I imagine Kirby's all over the Shield and Ditko's all over Doctor Strange. All right. So again, this is technically, weirdly, a key issue because it is the first appearance of Mentallo and the Fixer. Oh, hey man, Gary really likes Operation Bomb Blast.
I'm assuming this is the one he wants.
All right, and just in case, because these two go hand in hand with one another, this is the first cover appearance and the second appearance of Mentallo and the Fixer. All right, this is Strange Tales 142 from 1966. All right, now this is the one where Mentallo and Fixer capture Fury, and they tease him a bunch while Baron Mordo's flunkies squat at Doctor Strange's home after he removes the explosion, whatever that means. Yeah, from last issue's bomb. But the thing I want to point out here, okay, what makes this this issue so special is you have a mystical villain who is one of Doctor Strange's arch nemesis, okay? And his great plan to defeat Doctor Strange is to get a bunch of his bum minions to move into Doctor Strange's house and squat and go, this is our house now. And Doctor Strange is like, oh, man, now I got to kick these asses out. So, boom. Like, if there was no better plan in the 60s. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you were a supervillain right now, the best way, especially when it comes to squatters' rights in this country, the best way to screw over your, enemy is to just sneak into his home, his or her home when they're not there, and just claim it's now ours, meaning mine. So anyway, good copy, $6. This is a great Jack Kirby cover. Look at that awesome little Kirby, weird sci-fi craziness. You want to check it out? It's a good one.
Mr. Lime's
Mr. Lime's taking it. All right, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. These are fun books, people.
This is like, I'm not that, this is a great book for a lot of reasons. But, for $6, like, you frame that's
right.
Like, that's just beautiful.
In fact, like, when it comes to, really cool, Silver Age, Golden Age cover, comics that I love, I've actually purchased, not in the best condition, purely because I then frame it, because, and just call it a day, man. And in fact, to be very honest with you, some of the wear and tear of these covers actually give it a lot of character, especially if you're not trying to, again, it's $6, it's $5, whatever the case may be.
To buy some kind of faux replica of this in Marshall's or Bed Bath & Beyond is like $20.
$20, yeah.
$20-$30
yeah.
For this same cover blown up
on
fake wood.
And if you want to get really intense with it, you only spent $6. Start rooting through that thing and tear out pages and frame all the pages. In fact, together into one big frame. It'd be kind of fun. All right.
Spend $1,000 framing it.
Oh, yeah.
$6.
There you go. All right, so what do we got next? We have Strange Tales 143. There you go. Mentallo and Fixer still on the ball. They create a hydrogen bomb, which is handcuffed. In fact, no. I just want to be clear about this, okay? Because we're talking about mid-60s comic books, especially super spy comic book stuff. Okay, they don't handcuff Nick Fury to a hydrogen bomb. They actually create a wrist hydrogen bomb. And that's what that thing is, okay? So they put his hands into a hydrogen bomb, and they call it a wrist H bomb, or it's some goofy ass name. Anyway, let's see what he does. He escapes from the stupid bomb, and then he gets shot. Fury gets shot out. Oh, this is it. This is the beginning of the great scourge of Nick Fury, where he begins to get shot out of the sky by a giant golden flying egg. You heard it right. There are multiple issues that we're going to talk about right now where the big, great evil that keeps screwing Nick Fury over every time he escapes from something is a giant flying golden egg just floating around to the point where I began to wonder, if anyone watches Venture Brothers, it really made me think of the Monarch's flying nest. Oh my God, I'm flaking on the term for a butterfly's hive thing or what have you. Anyway, the cocoon. Yes, thank you. There's this giant flying egg, and it's very gold. Flies around and shoots Nick Fury a lot. This is a good minus copy at $4. But if you want to get really weird about it, you could refer to this cover as a bondage cover. Yeah. Look how excited the Fixer and Mentallo is. Look how tortured Nick Fury looks.
You can't unsee it once he says it.
Can't unsee it. It's deep, people. It's deep. All right, next up, now we're going to get a Nick Fury cover, but Marvel at this point wanted to remind you that Doctor Strange was still in the Strange Tales. So his little floating head pops up, despite the fact it has nothing to do with the Nick Fury story. All right, before I wanted to move on from this issue, 143, does anyone know who Howard Purcell is? Do you know who Howard Purcell is?
Purcell?
Yeah, because he is the artist for the Nick Fury stories for the next couple issues. Obviously, Steve Ditko is still doing Doctor Strange, but Howard Purcell takes over from Jack Kirby and Don Heck and begins to illustrate Nick Fury. All right.
Is it of note? Is it? How's the art?
It's nondescript.
Okay.
It looks like bad Don Heck. Sorry.
Man, I hope Walter Griffin's watching right now. Because he's going to love that.
All right. Okay. First of all, I want to remind everybody, this druid character you see here, he is not to be confused with the Avengers character, Dr. Druid. This is a completely different, like, S.H.I.E.L.D. villain who I don't even know if he existed outside of a couple of these issues. But here we go. This is 144, right? Yeah. The Strange Tales 144 from 1966. All right, so one of the things that is kind of unique about this issue, it is the first appearance of the agent Jasper Sitwell. All right, now for any like real hardcore Marvel zombies out there, you'll know who Jasper Sitwell is, because for most of the 60s into the 70s, in the Iron Man book and Tales to Astonish, Jasper Sitwell becomes the liaison between Tony Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D. Later, he is killed by the Black Widow while they're chasing down the Winter Soldier in Ed Brubaker's classic Captain America run. So poor Jasper Sitwell, but he had a good almost 40-year run in comic books as a notable S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who would pop up now and again. And I'm pretty sure at some point he was brought back and he was like a living zombie or something. Anyway. Also, Fury is attacked by more flying golden eggs by Doctor Strange and the Ancient One search for Clea. This is written by Stan Lee. I imagine that is the Doctor Strange story. Roy Thomas is on the tip here, writing Nick Fury. And then we get more Howard Purcell, Steve Ditko, and yeah, you guessed it, that is definitely a Jack Kirby cover. Now we're on to Strange Tales number 145. A lot more fights with flying golden eggs. And them, yes, them, they get mentioned. They're about to appear. Do you know who them is? Don't worry, I'll tell you in a couple issues. Also, you learn about Rasputin's descendant, Mr. Rasputin. He ends up battling Doctor Strange with mystical powers before he does the smart thing. If you are fighting a character with mystical powers, even if you have mystical powers, and you guys are doing like power, lights, magic, and it's really getting annoying, it's really getting boring, and you're not actually winning, the best thing you can do is what Mr. Rasputin does in this issue: pull out a gun and shoot Doctor Strange. Pow! There you go. Only in America. Anyway, that is a fine copy. That's actually one of the better Strange Tales that we have, which is why that bad boy is $18. All right. And now we move on to Strange Tales 149, The End of AIM. All right. So let's see. What's going on in this one? What do my notes say? Fury discovers... Oh, okay. Here. All right. Okay, do you want to know who them is? Them is Hydra. Yeah, okay. Big surprise. I just, I felt if I did a dramatic surprise, you guys would be surprised. But nobody is surprised because if Nick Fury's fighting something, most likely it's Hydra in disguise. So then you end up finding out that they are both one and the same with Hydra. At the same time, Doctor Strange and the Ancient One try to escape a gentleman by the name of Kalu's mystical trap. Kalu sounds, and his name is spelled like a weird Star Trek alien. So who knows? Maybe it's a strange crossover. Anyway, this issue, both stories are actually written by Denny O'Neil. And not only do you get Jack Kirby drawing Doctor Strange. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jack Kirby with Ogden Whitney. They drew this Nick Fury story. And Bill Everett takes over for Steve Ditko on Doctor Strange. And of course, you guessed it, that's another gorgeous Jack Kirby cover. All right, now we move on to Strange Tales 152. Into the Dimension of Death. We're back on Doctor Strange actually being on a cover. At this point, Fury destroys the Hydro base, the Carnopolis, and their, wait for it, their Overkill Horn. Would you be frightened of something called the Overkill Horn?
Well, Zanin kind of hipped everybody in the chat.
Oh,
the overkill horn.
Oh, Zanen's already given away the good.
Yeah.
The overkill horn, Zanen. The overkill horn. I mean, there's a joke there. I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure it has to do with like noise ordinances in the city.
I think wouldn't it just be that?
Oh my God, you're right. That is the overkill horn. Because every time you hear that horn in like ball games, it's overkill.
That's too much.
Even though Gary, you're right, we still need that on the show.
Yeah. Every time you hear somebody sitting next to you do that like 15 times.
Oh my God, it's insane. Anyway, Doctor Strange fights various creatures in the dark dimension in his search for Clea. In fact, almost all of these issues, Doctor Strange is just searching for Clea. Now, this is also written by Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Bill Everett is actually writing. And we got, this is fun. Now we are beginning to get into the process where Jim Steranko is going to start showing up on Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. stories. Right now, in this issue, Jack Kirby, with the help of Jim Steranko, are now beginning to illustrate S.H.I.E.L.D. And Bill Everett, obviously, is still working on Doctor Strange, including this cover. I know it's clear, but that is a Bill Everett Doctor Strange cover.
So you get Kirby. Is Kirby doing all the pencils, or is he writing? Is it like?
Well, it's like I don't know, because it says like inks by Steranko, but I don't know if maybe they did. As anyone who knows this period of time, half the time they're doing breakdowns, and then they pass it to the guy next to them in the bullpen. They do finishes, and they also do some of the inks. And then the original penciler comes along and also does a few inks to kind of like make it look more like their thing. But the big deal for this is we are now beginning, because a lot of people. Obviously, we're not talking about 2021 Jim Steranko, but 1966 Jim Steranko. It's a big deal, especially in connection to Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D.
That's iconic.
Yeah, like iconic is the word. Okay, so last for this era of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Doctor Strange, before we get into some strange characters and then reprints, this is Strange Tales number 154. All right, now, one thing that makes this key, it is the first appearance of what is known as the Hydra Dreadnought. Now, the Hydra Dreadnought is, you guessed it, a giant killer robot, which Fury has to battle. Also, but the cool thing that's in this issue, because it's something that's been reprinted in almost every S.H.I.E.L.D. collection that has ever existed, this is the very first time that Jim Steranko illustrates a full blueprint of the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. So in this issue, you get Jim Steranko doing a big blueprint of the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. Also, in this issue, it is revealed for the first time that Dum Dum Dugan's real name is, Al, can you guess it? Nope. Timothy Aloysius Cadwalder Dugan. No wonder he went with Dum Dum.
I was right there.
Yeah,
just about to get it.
Because he said his full name to someone. They were like, "That's Dum Dum." Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Anyway, we got a lot of writers on this one. This one's got some Roy Thomas. Now we're starting to get Jim Steranko starting to add to the scripts of the S.H.I.E.L.D. We got a little Stan Lee. We got Marie Severin. And just so you know, this S.H.I.E.L.D. pure Jim Steranko. In fact, it's Marie Severin that does the Doctor Strange story along with this cover. That is Marie Severin. Now, this issue is a good plus at $10.
So supposedly Kirby would do the layouts and Steranko.
Okay,
everything else.
That makes a ton of sense. Yes.
Going back, just so for everybody, if you don't see it, that Strange Tales 145 is a crossover with Tales of Suspense 78. Shout out to Zanin for the useful information.
Hey Zanin, do you want to come be on every show?
Yeah, you want to do this?
And just be our so we have the Greg Hole where we drag weird books out, and then we have the Zanin meta mind where every time Al and I don't know something, which is often, we just go, Zanin, what does it mean? And Zanin goes, do, 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 do. Here you go, dum-dums.
He's like, that's what I do now, but I'm home.
Oh, yeah, great point. Yeah,
quite comfortable.
Yeah, he's quite comfortable. Zanin, Sixers, baby, Sixers. All right, now we're going to move on. So we have a huge jump from 154 because we're now going to jump to 174. where I believe at this point, S.H.I.E.L.D. got its own title and Doctor Strange got its own title. So Strange Tales, for a brief period of time, became a showcase for this character, the Golem. All right, so this is Strange Tales 174. It's the Golem statue that is awoken by a dying woman's tears, because that's how all statues are awoken. It also enacts revenge on the Arabian army deserters who robbed and murdered the excavation team who dug up his statue. All right, so just so we're clear, this is 1974. So we're deep into America, really not liking the Middle East. So the Arabian army deserters are starting to become the go-to villains outside of Russians and the Viet Cong. And who else did we hate at this time, you know? Another fun thing about this, okay, so this entire issue is written by Len Wein, art by John Buscema. The cover, that's a Gil Kane cover. But one thing that's pretty funny in here, there's a reprint story from, what is it, Marvel Tales 110 by Stan Lee and Russ Heath. The story is called Foolproof. And I'm going to tell you what this idiot's plan was. All right, Al. So this guy has an apartment building, and he wants to get the insurance money for the apartment building. So he figures out a plan, and he goes, I don't want the police and the firefighters to know that I started the fire, okay? So I got a foolproof plan, all right? And this is the plan. I am going to start the fire at the first floor, and then I'm going to run up to the top floor. I'm going to time it perfectly to when I know when I need the firefighters to show up. And then I'm going to call them and have them come and rescue me so no one can accuse me of starting the fire, right? Well, here's the ironic twist. And only in 1974 can this be an ironic twist. The guy runs up to the top floor and goes to the payphone on the top floor of an apartment building and realizes he has no coins. And he burns alive with his building. Asshole. Foolproof, right? All right, so that is...
Thank you, Mr. Rayo, for the strange things.
Thanks, thanks, James. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. All right, next up is Strange Tales 175. Now, this one is a pure reprint issue. The Golem story will not continue until the following issue, but I just want to point this one out real fast. This is reprint stories from Amazing Adventures #1 from 1957, I believe, written by Larry Lieber. But the cool thing is you do get late 50s era Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko monster art. And also, for anyone who doesn't recognize that, that is absolutely a Jack Kirby cover. All right, so, and that bad boy is fine at $9. And now we're going to continue with the Golem story. Excuse me. Now we have Strange Tales 176. All right, so the Golem's back. He fights air demons. He sinks a ship. And the backup story is reprinted from Adventure into Mystery #8. Now, this backup story is illustrated by a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Infantino. So I'm curious, Zainin, the meta mind of our show, is Jimmy Infantino, was that what Carmen Infantino was naming himself because he was afraid of is he Italian? Like, was Carmine just a little bit too, what was the negative word they used to use? Ethnic? Ethnic. Again, like all words, tone and context carry a lot of meaning. Anyway, it was illustrated by Jimmy Infantino. Please let me know. Is that a different person than Carmen Infantino, or is that Carmen Infantino with a much more Anglo name?
What year was that?
This issue is from 1974, but Adventure into Mystery #8, the reprint story that's in here, I think was from 56, 57, 58, in that area. And in fact, that story actually is, it's about a man who will be hung on a... Okay, all right, let's make sense of this real quick. All right, so the way that the backup story that Jimmy Infantino drew, so this guy, he's going to be hung on a Monday. All right? No, he's not Solomon Grundy. He was born on a Monday. He's going to be hung on a Monday. And so what he does is he somehow obtains some kind of a wish potion thing. And what he wishes for is that there will be no more Mondays ever, even going back to the past. So guess what the idiot forgets? He forgets that, you got it, he's not Solomon Grundy, but he was definitely born on a Monday. And so the dude drinks the potion, wishes for no more Mondays because he's fucking Garfield, and boom, he's gone from existence. So only in comics, people. It doesn't even make sense. It wouldn't even make a good Twilight Zone episode. I mean,
He's his younger brother.
oh, okay, all right, cool. Younger brother, Jimmy Infantino.
I had no idea.
I didn't know that either. Anyway, this is a good copy at $3.
I mean, we could just say that he changed his name because people are racist.
I'll be honest with you. Maybe that says a lot about me, but it's the first thought I had.
No, it absolutely makes sense.
I mean, Jack Kirby isn't Jack Kirby's actual,
No.
Katzenberg or something like that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Also, that is another Gil Kane cover. Yeah, that's a pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Gil Kane, rocking and rolling.
Oh, actually, no. I am completely and utterly wrong. I'm reading my notes wrong. This issue was actually written by Mike Friedrich, illustrated by Tony Zuniga.
Tony DeZunga.
And that is an early John Romita Sr. cover with a little help by Frank Giacoa, or I don't know. Now we're going to move on. Now we're going to start getting to, I believe. Oh, no.
Wait, what?
What's that? This cover here?
It's an early
John Romita.
Romita Sr.?
Well, yeah, John Romita Sr., not to be confused with John Romita Jr. years later. I mean, they just call him John Romita because his son hadn't started working in the industry yet, so they hadn't had the senior quite yet. But it is an early John Romita cover. All right, next up is the final issue of the Golem story in Strange Tales. This is 177 from 1974. The Golem fights fire demons because he fought air demons, he sunk a ship, and now he fights fire demons. Also, a kid gets bullied. That's about it. But the funny thing about this, in terms of like comic book history, this is when the Golem plotline was preempted by an Adam Warlock plotline by Jim Starlin. This caused the Golem's plot to be wrapped up quickly in an issue of Marvel 2-in-1. That was issue number 11. So from this point on, that becomes the Adam Warlock kind of stories, which will inevitably lead into Adam Warlock number 9, when Jim Starlin pretty much takes over that title, and it becomes the Adam Warlock that we all know and love, and into all of those cool Thanos stories and all that kind of stuff. Also, we have a backup story, which is a reprint from Astonishing number 59, illustrated by J. Scott Pike. Now, the one thing I've learned is it's the kind of issue that goes so far back that I couldn't find a writer's credit if my life depended on it. I could only find who drew it, and that was a gentleman by the name of J. Scott Pike. And it's a weird story where some diver, he discovers Atlantis beneath a glass dome, and there's this like beautiful woman like staring at him, and he gets all horny for her. So he tries to like go and like get her out of the glass dome because he really wants to have sex with like a smoking hot mermaid. But then she shows that she has shark teeth, and then she starts to hunt him, and then she eats him. So I'm pretty sure this is an STD allegory, maybe. Or maybe, I don't know, don't try to break people out of glass domes. Maybe there's a reason why they're there. Anyway, this is written by Mike Friedrich, art by Tony DeZuniga. And the cool thing is, I dig this cover because it is Frank Brunner. That's our boy from Doctor Strange. All right, and that is a good minus copy at $2. $2 for a Frank Brunner cover.
And we're going to take a quick break.
Man, another break. All right.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's us. It's our next hour. Anyone who's watching us who doesn't understand how this works, let us know and we'll get into the business. If not, I'm just going to move along. Let us finish up with the little bit of Strange Tales we have left. We are now deep into the reprint period of Strange Tales. So this one is Strange Tales 182. Now, this reprints issues of Strange Tales 123 and 124. It's the two Doctor Strange stories from those two issues. So technically, you get one story in this one. And this is the one where Loki battles Doctor Strange in an attempt to trick Thor. And he ends up in, Doctor Strange ends up in the process being transported to the past, where he ends up freeing Cleopatra's spirit. I'm pretty sure there's an implied sexual relationship between Doctor Strange and Cleopatra's ghost, much like, Dan Aykroyd in Ghostbusters, except I'm pretty sure it was mutual sexual gratification and not as selfish as Dan Aykroyd was. I mean, come on, man. Just because it's a ghost doesn't mean – supposedly Batman doesn't go down. I don't believe that. Everyone says Batman's a bad leg. I disagree. I bet he's really good. All right? And he's probably bisexual. Yes, I do believe that.
I got something for the chat. I'm just going to throw this statement out there. I don't know how you're going to feel.
Oh, it's good at $2.
Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Yeah, no. We are trying to sell it. Ghostbusters 2 is a better film than Ghostbusters 1.
Okay, so we're supposed to sell comics, but I have to do a timeout real fast because I need to inquire what he is talking about. I don't even dislike Ghostbusters 2 the way that other people do, but that is a hot take. If this guy thinks he's Stephen A. Smith, if he thinks
Clearly Ghostbusters 2 is a better film.
Now, why? Yeah, I'm listening.
I don't have a definitive, this is the reason, this is why. I enjoy watching it more. I think it's more entertaining than the first film.
Are you trying to initiate
it's opinions.
Do you want to
It's all about opinions. I know it's a hated film, but
why is it hated though? That's the thing that annoys.
Well, see, we've had this discussion.
Yeah, we definitely had this.
Given the opportunity, I'll watch the second one first. That's just what it is. I came to that conclusion the other day. I'm talking to somebody about it. I said, you know what? I think I just like it better.
The only way that would be an even hotter take is if you also said that you wish Ghostbusters 2 had more women in it. Because then the internet would really break. If I've learned anything, don't you dare take a bunch of little man babies movies away and put ladies in it.
Shout out to No, nobody agrees with me except for Contrell on the phone, who said I'm right. He's thought that for years. So there you go. I'm in good company.
I'm gonna do it. Trell. I love you, man. But Al, if your only ally for a pop culture opinion is Trell, that's not a very good. I mean, this is a guy who loves the Cowboys and the Celtics, but is from Mississippi. You know, I mean,
Extreme Ghostbusters is better than both films.
Extreme Ghostbusters?
Shout out to Mr. Rail for throwing his hat.
What's Extreme Ghostbusters?
The cartoon. It was the cartoon in. Oh no, I'm thinking of the real Ghostbusters.
We're not talking. Well, the real Ghostbusters, that was because of a legal issue, because the monkey Ghostbusters from Britain, which actually ended up being a fun cartoon, but it wasn't a cartoon. It was actually used live action with a dude in a gorilla suit. The cartoon was actually kind of neat. But what's the Extreme Ghostbusters?
Let me clarify. I'm not dismissing the original. I love the original Ghostbusters.
Hold on. Just let him walk it back.
I'm not walking anything back. Ghostbusters 2 is a better film.
Because you really like Vigo.
I think Vigo is great. The whole oozing of slime is great. Vigo's a creepy Vigo's creepier than anybody in the first Ghostbusters.
I'll tell you one thing though. The thing I do really like,
creepy witch ghost man flying away with the baby is disgustingly creepy. Actually, and you get the Statue of Liberty dancing to Jackie Wilson at the end.
That is cool. I do like the Jackie Wilson thing.
You can't go wrong.
But like the ooze, like in this sewer and stuff like that, that's got like a weird. That actually has a lot of like strange, like urban legend history to it.
You're absolutely right. You get Bobby Brown in it too. See, Charles just making my argument for me.
Of course, that's why Charles loves it. He's like, I like New Edition. Charles' prerogative is to like Ghostbusters
you get the see Jason knows you get more the characters a little more developed. It's just a little more fun. That's all I'm saying. You know, it's everything is not for everybody. People hate that movie, and I'm well aware of that.
I don't hate that movie. But the comment was 2 is better than 1. Right. That's the only time I find myself in there.
I stand by that. I don't know what he's talking about. The Last Jedi. You all hate him for that.
That is true. Why do you all hate me? All right. Let's famous cover, but it's a reprint. This is Strange Tales 183. This is the 2-part Doctor Strange story from Strange Tales 130 and 131. Baron Mordo and his minions attack the Ancient One and send evil mystics out to hunt down Doctor Strange. This is the precursor to when Baron Mordo figures out the great move is to have his minions squat in Doctor Strange's house. So technically speaking, you could argue that this is a 4-part story here.
Wait.
What?
No. Continue what you're doing.
What's the problem?
I can't go.
We're trying to sell what are these? $4 and $8. Okay, we're not.
Keep going.
Come on.
We're fine. We're not stopping.
Mike's paying us here.
We're not stopping again.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Now 183. Reprints 130 and 131, and issue 184 here reprints 132 and 133. This issue, so both of these written by Stan Lee, illustrated by Steve Ditko. This one you get a Jack Kirby cover. This one you get an Ed Hannigan cover. But let's not get bogged down in the weeds. But if you want a really cool, fun Stan Lee, Steve Ditko era Doctor Strange versus Baron Mordo story, these 2 issues reprinting kind of 4 earlier issues from a few years earlier. It's not a bad choice. If anything else, this cover is gorgeous. So that is a very good at $4. And this is a very fine at $8. But for tonight, if you're interested and you want to purchase both of these issues, I will give you both of them for $8. So that's $4 each. So if you're interested, let me know. If not, I'm going to throw these up here. And after the other break, they'll probably be gone. But they'll be in the back issue somewhere. But before we leave our Strange Tales, I want to point out a fun little, a couple bundles. So back in 1987, Marvel was having success with their Marvel Comics Presents, which was usually an anthology series with 3 stories. A lot of times, later when Marvel Comics Presents really took off, you usually always had a Ghost Rider or Wolverine and then somebody else. In the early days, it was a lot of like Cyclops, Colossus, and somebody else. It was strange. But Oh, somebody take me up on that?
What did you both?
All right. So they're $4 each. So the two of them together are $8.
$8. Thank you, Mr. Kieran.
All right, bud. So in 1987, they brought out Strange Tales again. It's referred to as Strange Tales Volume 2. It only lasted for 19 issues, but we do have all 19 issues. Now, primarily, the two main features for pretty much the entire series was Doctor Strange and Cloak and Dagger. Now, at the time, Doctor Strange did not have his own series, and Cloak and Dagger did not have its own series. In fact, when Strange Tales ended in 1987, 1988, I believe it was the following year, 1989, maybe late 88, where Doctor Strange got his Volume 2, and Cloak and Dagger got their first ongoing series. Up until then, I believe they only had 2 limited series. Anyway, you can correct me in the chat if you want. So we have the entire run. Now, usually, most of the issues had a third story. A lot of times it was Punisher. Sometimes it was Power Pack. A couple times it was Dazzler. Doesn't say. Doesn't say. And, oh, The Thing. The Thing shows up. Okay. But one of the really cool things about these series, there was a lot of different creative teams and everything like that, but something that I always remember very specifically from my childhood about these issues is you get a lot of really cool covers, okay? The majority of the covers were illustrated by Kevin Nolan, who's a very underappreciated artist in my opinion. Also Brett Blevins, Terry Austin, and you even at the back end, you get a gorgeous Mike Mignola cover. Now, he only did one, and he did the final issue number 19. But I love 90s Mignola. Love his work, love everything he's done. But I still have a soft spot for 80s Mignola, still trying to do superheroes. And this was part of that kind of run. Anyway, these 3 bundles are all, okay. So this one is issue 1 through 6. This is a $7 bundle. This is issue 7 through 12, another $7 bundle. And this is issue 13 through 19, so you get an extra issue, which makes it an $8 bundle. I do have it as a 3-part bundle, but again, these are continuing stories, but it's an anthology, so if you just wanted to try out one bundle, that's cool. And in fact, as I sit here and stare at these, if anyone wants to purchase all 3 bundles together, so you have to purchase all 3, I will give you all 3 for $15. That means you'll get them for $5 each. So if anyone is interested, you can have all 3 bundles of Strange Tales, Volume 2, 1 through 19, for only $15. That's less than $1 a comic. So let us know. So why we do that, we are going to now move on from Marvel to DC. And specifically, a character we don't get a lot of opportunities to talk about or to showcase, purely because we don't have many key issues in terms of her run. But we were very lucky. These few issues of Wonder Woman, which are all issues that we haven't had here at Fat Jacks in a while, we were lucky. These are part of the DJ Loves JB collection, even though they have nothing to do with John Byrne. That's fine. We are specifically talking about the era when Phil Jimenez was writing and illustrating Wonder Woman. But really what gives these books some significance and why they're hard to find, it is because they are the era of Adam Hughes doing Wonder Woman covers. And in fact, I imagine some of you see that big sticker. Usually when that big sticker is on a comic here on one of our shows, that means it's $30 or more. And I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing that gives these issues value are the covers. Now they're cool and they're interesting. And actually, like, you know, some of the stories here, like especially with the Batman, they're really wild. And we haven't had them in a long time. But there are specifically 3 issues that have a little bit of value. But let us talk real quick about Wonder Woman. And we are specifically referring to in early 2001, Phil Jimenez, who has a very kind of like George Perez kind of style. he took over the book, not only illustrating it, but he had the opportunity to write Wonder Woman, something I imagine was a big deal for him, considering, I don't want to get into people's personal sexuality.
To Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams, the Wolverines, we still have a handful left. I can't really interact in the chat, but if you want to hit me up tomorrow on the Facebook show, we can run through those again for you.
Oh, do you want to just?
He just said what happened to the Wolverines, so I don't know. I mean, if we get time, we can run back through them.
Yeah, I mean, we have them over there. How about this? When we get to like near the last like 10, 15 minutes of the show, if you hopefully you're still with us, we'll dip back into some things you might have missed, and we'll just kind of throw it out there. But for right now, before we run out of time, I want to get through some of these Wonder Womans. I'm not going to belabor the point too much. I'm just going to kind of show them off. So this is the first issue in Phil Jimenez, even to the point where J.M. DeMatteis, I guess, was helping him do some of the scripting. But this is the Gods of Gotham story arc, where Batman, it's a 4-part story. We have all 4 parts here. And this is Batman kind of hanging out with Wonder Woman. But again, I'm telling you, the reason why these issues are hard to find and the reason why people buy them up often, it's because of the cover artist, Adam Hughes. This is Wonder Woman 164, Part 1 of Gods of Gotham. Very fine near mint, $5. Now we have Part 2 of the Gods of Gotham. This is Wonder Woman 165. Again, very fine near mint, $5. Part 3. Now at this point, Jimenez is fully taking on the scripting. And here we even got Batman on the cover. So this is Wonder Woman 166, very fine near mint, $5. And then Part 4, the final part of the Gods of Gotham storyline, Wonder Woman 167, very fine near mint, $5. And then we get Wonder Woman and Lois Lane chatting about Superman. I can only imagine what they have to say. Now, this is Wonder Woman 170. Now, this is a very fine near mint at $5. And then we get Wonder Woman 176, The Witch and the Warrior. Again, another Adam Hughes cover that makes it very fine near mint, $5. Now we get Wonder Woman 177, very fine near mint, $5. Some Girl Scouts, very excited about Wonder Woman. Cool beans. And now we get to really the crown jewel of this run. It is a cover that shocked me when I was looking up if there was anything key about these issues, if there was anything unique, if the market was telling me anything about it. And this issue really jumped out. And when I say it jumped out, I marked it low. And you're going to still be shocked by the price. This book was easily going for like $75, $100, which was like blowing my mind. But I felt really uncomfortable pricing it at that purely for the cover. But I won't deny the fact the cover is really cool. We are talking about Wonder Woman 184. All right. So you can imagine there's a lot of that fake stress. It is supposed to look like a book that came from the 1940s. It is referred to as a rare Adam Hughes 1940s cover. You get the original. He's recreating the original aesthetic of Wonder Woman during the war with his new modern aesthetic of Wonder Woman.
So he drew both versions?
Oh, yeah. That's like he recreated the style.
That's awesome.
You even get this weird Hitlerish character, and I know some people really love their swastikas on comic book covers.
He's just Hitlerish.
Yeah. It's a very fine near mint copy at $50. And look it up if you want, if you don't believe me. But this issue seemed to be really hard to find. I imagine because it is genuinely unique. I won't deny that. This is definitely one that if you were going to spend $50 for it, get this bad boy framed, put it up. It's a nice talking piece in your house.
Was that a variant at the time?
No. It was the real cover.
Just a regular cover.
Yeah, because I guess maybe the story. I don't know what the storyline was, but I'm imagining, especially when you look at this next issue, which is 185, which takes place right after 184. But maybe she like went into the past or something, because the other one has a little bit of value. Nothing like that, but still, this is a very fine near mint copy at $10. And once again, you put Nazis and a swastika on an American comic book, and just it's more significant. What do you think that says about our country? Let's not get into that. But here we go. It's Wonder Woman. She's beating up Nazis. And if you watch this show for any period of time, you know I love any cover where Nazis get beat up. Very fine near mint, $10. Wonder Woman 185 by Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes being the cover artist. Obviously, Phil Jimenez is the actual artist.
Does that was actually my question. Does Jimenez do the earlier Gods of Gotham storyline also? Yeah.
Just so we're clear, all of these Wonder Woman books that we were talking about, Adam Hughes does all the covers. Phil Jimenez, he needed a little help from J.M. DeMatteis in the beginning, sort of like how John Byrne helped Mike Mignola on the very first Hellboy story. It's kind of like when an artist decides to start doing the writing. Sometimes you get a buddy who's a pretty well-known writer to kind of help you with the script. Well, DeMatteis kind of helped Phil for the first 2 issues, but the last 2 issues of that Batman crossover, or not crossover because it's not a Batman issue, but that part, Jimenez really just kind of takes over and runs with it. So Phil Jimenez on all of these Wonder Woman issues writes and illustrates. And let's be honest, if you're buying a Wonder Woman comic that Phil Jimenez is connected to, you're probably buying it for his art. But as someone who actually read this run when it was coming out, Phil Jimenez actually turned out to be a pretty decent writer. So I give him a lot of props in that regard.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams. Thank you. And then next up is Wonder Woman 186. Okay, now this is again, Adam Hughes cover, Phil Jimenez. This is the issue where you get Donna Troy and Wonder Girl at the time. The 3 of them on the cover. Feminine mystique. Oh, nice. Very fine near mint, $5. And the last of the Adam Hughes covers we have, and the one that has a little bit of value, primarily because of the villain on this cover, that is Cheetah. I know that glare is always just wonderful to show off these books. But anyway, this is Wonder Woman 187, The Fury of the Cheetah. That's right. It's when Phil Jimenez brings back one of the great Wonder Woman villains. Now, this one is a very fine near mint at $8. All right. So just move some stuff here. Now we're going to kind of get off the beaten track real quick and talk about something a little weird. And when I say weird, I just mean that it's not Marvel or DC. And we are specifically talking about the defunct Charlton Comics. Now, many of you are familiar with Charlton Comics primarily about what happened to them after they were purchased by DC Comics. After they were purchased, we're talking about characters like Judo Master, Thunderbolt, Peacemaker, Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, The Question, all characters that obviously would be, some of them would become characters that would be part of the DC mythos going forward. Obviously, The Question and Captain Atom, the Blue Beetle. But what makes them a little bit more significant is, again, I'm going to tell you a story that a lot of you already know, but Alan Moore was contracted to do a story referred to as Twilight of the Superheroes. DC Comics, they wanted a storyline to kind of show off these new Charlton characters that they had, and they wanted that story to help them integrate the characters into their DC continuity. Alan Moore handed them their pitch, and they went, wow, that is an amazing pitch. You can't do anything with those characters. So when Alan Moore heard that, he was like, what, so you don't want me to do the story? And they're like, no, we still want you to do the story. Just come up with other characters. And so forth. Dr. Manhattan, or Captain Atom became Dr. Manhattan. The Question became Rorschach. Blue Beetle became Night Owl, and so forth and so forth. All right? So this is part of those characters. And now Judo Master has shown up a couple times in DC continuity, even in Kingdom Come. I think there's a bunch of other stories. Again, I can't read everything. But this is technically, even though it is issue 89, this is the first Judo Master issue, because he was in some other book, Star Spangled Adventures or something. I don't know. And then inevitably he became just Judo Master. And here he is fighting the Mountain Storm, a cool sumo guy. This is a very good plus cover at $10. And then we get Judo Master number 90. All right. Not only do you get a fun story of Judo Master fighting a bunch of, oh, look, he's a real swinger. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. But the other thing that makes this issue a little key, there's a backup feature at the end of this issue, which is the first time that Peter Thunderbolt was actually given an origin, as far as I'm aware. But this issue is unique in regards to, it is Thunderbolt, also known as Peter Thunderbolt. It is his origin. This is Judo Master number 90, a fine copy at $12.
Thank you, Mr. Lime.
All right, cool. And just in regards to a little bit of synergy, because I don't know when this will ever be relevant again. Speaking of Peter Thunderbolt, a few years ago, who was this? Was this Dynamite? Yep, Dynamite. All right, Dynamite. Back in 2019, they put out a series for Peter Thunderbolt. This is issue 1 through 5. It is a complete series. This is an $8 bundle of our boy, Peter Thunderbolt. All right, what do we have for time? Oh, okay. Do you want to do the break now? Because we're like at 7:30, and then we'll just sort of...
I think we can cut now, Kyle, if that's easier.
Yeah, that's just easier, and then we'll just burn through the last half hour for our hard out. You want to do that?
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today. Hey, is everyone back? Am I like, oh yeah, there's my back. All right, cool. I'm caught out again. Brennan. All right, people. Wonderful to see you. Thank you as always for being here with us. This has been an absolute pleasure to hang out with you guys.
Everybody, please like and subscribe and notify and follow.
Yeah, please validate our need for attention.
And don't forget our Instagram page.
Oh, yeah, for anyone who's interested, we are now on Instagram. It is at the FJC Paradox. I promised myself that I'm going to try to do at least one post a day, because if I've learned anything about social media, you always have to be creating content, no matter if anyone's asking for it or not. So I will just be part of the deluge of bullshit that we just shove out there every day. So come join me. Have fun. Fat Jacks. All right. Let's move on.
Eight o'clock. 8 o'clock.
What's 8 o'clock?
Sixers game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Kyle's asking what time is it. Yeah, so if you want to cut the show a little early, Kyle, that's cool.
All right. Well, we have our heart out, so we always have to be aware of that. We have to be respectful to our fellow experienced co-workers or co-family or whatever.
Experience would all be shutting down to watch the Sixers. Like
Yeah,
because nobody appreciates Sixers basketball like people in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Or people in the South. People in the South love Philadelphia, love the Northeast. In fact, aren't we cherished? Isn't the Northeast like, or what do they refer to us as? What's the term?
The best part of the country?
Coastal elites? Isn't that the term? No. Pray for me, people, or for anyone else who's going to watch the game and be emotionally invested. I have to get up for work at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I'm scared I'm not going to be able to sleep, whether they win or lose.
Hey, Kyle, if you need to erase Jason's comments, that's fine. You do what you need to do, buddy.
What? Something happened?
He's throwing shade at the Sixers, man.
Who's throwing shade at the Sixers? Jason?
You can think what you want. You can't. You see what I said about Ghostbusters and the hatred.
Yeah.
The vitriol.
Yeah. What is it that Henry brings up and I always want to jump down his throat?
Everything.
Everything.
No, Star Wars. What's that Army of the Dead movie?
Ugh, that Army of the Dead
Netflix.
movie.
That's what you guys were arguing about the other day.
Yeah. Jason, you really hate the Sixers? Come on, man.
That's terrible. That's terrible, man.
You Ben Simmons hater? You're all Ben Simmons hater. Yeah, I know, man. I wish he hit free throws too. What am I supposed to do, man? The dude he does other things amazingly. Anyway,
No bueno.
All right, we are technically here to talk about comics, but let's be honest. You can't talk about comics without talking about everything else you love, because all of this is it's an interconnectivity of passion, and it's the thing that allows us to feel warm at night while the great maw of the abyss and the void opens up with the hope that it's going to drag us all back into oblivion. And again, man, do not go quiet into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light, my friends. Because as long as there's tomorrow, we can read some comics. All right, now, with that said, let's talk about Black Adam. All right, so this is definitely speculation territory, people. But we know for a fact Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is playing Black Adam. There's a Black Adam movie. It's coming out. That is beyond a shadow of a doubt.
President-elect.
Yes, President-elect. God, that's where we've come now. People are
going to vote for him.
No, they're without a doubt going to vote for him.
No offense to The Rock, but
No, man. It's like, again, the only thing Schwarzenegger did as a politician is after our traitorous insurrection on January 6th, when he did that video where he brought out that Conan sword.
That was sweet.
That made me cry.
Now he can run for president.
Yeah. In fact, he'll run as a Republican, and maybe that's the only time I would vote for a Republican. As long as every time he does a State of the Union, he's got the Conan sword, because that was effective.
It on his back.
Yeah, that really did it for me. All right, but as we all know, Black Adam is a movie. It is definitely happening, and they've confirmed that Hawkman is absolutely going to be a character and a villain in it, okay? So, because of that, any character connected to Black Adam or his family or any of his main villains. And so, there's been a lot of interest in specifically, like I said, first appearances of certain characters that might be part of his supporting cast, a la Isis, or her brother and his adopted nephew, Osiris, or anything that has to do with Black Adam and Hawkman fighting. People love that crap. Speaking of which, I have another book I got to pull out before I forget tonight, because the only reason it has value and people are into it right now is because it has two famous characters fighting for the first time. All right, but before we get to that, let's talk about a couple books that are slowly beginning to increase in the speculation market. First up is 52, week 12, meaning issue 12. This is a very fine New York copy at $10. It is the first appearance of Isis here, who will become Black Adam's wife, his paramour, his partner, his significant other, who will later be killed, which will then cause Black Adam to go bug shit insane and just try to destroy the world. So some people speculate that she might be a character in the film. to, a woman dies to give a man a reason to get mad about stuff. I mean, there's not a trope about that or anything like that, or a famous trope, or somebody who maybe created, kind of kickstarted their career really acknowledging the trope and really bringing it to our attention, which calls her to be, enemy number one for some people for a long time. No names here. And then the other one is 52 week 23 $6 variant. First appearance of Osiris. All right, so there we go. And then we have here the entire 6-issue limited series of Black Adam, and I'm pretty sure it's his very first solo series. I think it's the first time he really had his own book. All right, and this is Peter Tomasi and Doug Mank. All right, so first up is issue number 1. This is the one that carries a bit of value to it. This is, and again, that's Isis's corpse, because Black Adam is still really pissed off. So this is Black Adam number 1, Very Fine Near Mint at $10. And then we get issue 2, Very Fine Near Mint. That's a $5 book. And then this is the next one that has a little bit of value. In fact, it's actually going up in value after I priced it, but I'm going to keep it at my original price. But this is the issue where Black Adam and Hawkman have a big knockdown, drag-out, slobber knocker of a fight, as Jerry Lawler used to call it. Or not Jerry Lawler. It was who's the dude who always made the barbecue with the hat? Who was the Jim Ross? Jim Ross. There you go. Black Adam number 3, Very Fine Near Mint, $6. And then we get Black Adam number 4, Very Fine Near Mint, $5. Issue number 5, Very Fine Near Mint, also $5. And then the last issue, issue number 6, Very Fine Near Mint, $5. All right, so there we go. That's some Black Adam for you people. All right, and then after that, we have Astonishing Tales with the character the Colossus. So let's first deal with those 3 issues. One of them actually has a little bit of key significance. We'll talk about what that actually means. Let me look at my notes real quick. Let me just make sure. Yes, this is exactly what I thought it is. All right, so this character, all right? So technically speaking, this is his first appearance, but he's not a character who's really shown up that often, even though he's shown up with some weird stuff. But this is Astonishing Tales, issue number 21. This is a fine copy at $12. And pretty much the basic gist is this guy is a statue created by the Soviets as propaganda. He was originally animated by a crash-landed alien. And then later, an American special effects artist, his consciousness took over the living Colossus, and he became a hero for a little bit. This story begins with this issue. Also, there's a backup story reprinted from Amazing Adult Fantasy number 9, where an old man builds a machine to freeze death so he can avoid dying. But shock of all shocks, irony, if death is frozen and he can't kill people, then a lot of people who are in pain and suffering, they keep living. A lot of bugs and weird shit don't die, and so suddenly we're overrun with ticks and flies and all this. So the old man pretty much realizes that what gives life meaning? Hey Al, if I were to ask you what gives life meaning, what do you think gives life meaning? Death! You got it right, Al. You're so smart. It is absolutely death. The fact that we die is the only reason that life has meaning. So if anyone asks you what's the meaning of life, you go, live it until you're dead. Because after you're dead, no more life. Anyway, fine, $12. Now, this is the issue that gives it a teeny bit of a key. Second appearance of Fin Fang Boom. All right? So there we go. That is Astonishing Tales 23 from 1974. It's the second appearance of Fin Fang Boom. He fights and then helps it defeat Granitor, because that's a cool name. One segment in this book is actually a reprint from Fin Fang Foom's first appearance in Strange Tales 89. So because of that, you get the writer Tony Isabella. Tony Isabella pretty much wrote all of the It stories. But you get Dick Ayers. He does the art in this issue. He does the art this issue. But if you ever look up this book, Jack Kirby's name will come up because Fin Fang Foom's original first appearance in Strange Tales 89 that was illustrated by Jack Kirby. A portion of that story is reprinted in this issue. Also, that is a gorgeous Gil Kane cover. All right, on both of these. All right, there's Gil Kane. All right, and then we get the next issue, Astonishing Tales 24, 5 Claws of Death. There we go. Fin Fang Foom is still in the book. He's still kicking ass, taking names. All right, what do my notes say about this? They continue their battle. Okay, yeah, this is where I guess Marvel decided that it wasn't a runaway success. So they're like, just end it, move on to something else. Don't give him his own series. So it, as a character, he will not reappear until Incredible Hulk 244. All right, so there we go. Now, this copy is a fine at $12. Now we're going to get into the Astonishing Tales that most people are looking for. All right, so let me just take these. I'll set it up for this. All right, so these Astonishing Tales predominantly deal with the character Deathlock. Now, Deathlock's first appearance was in Astonishing Tales 25. Guess what? We don't have it. His second appearance is 26. Surprise, don't have it. But we do have Astonishing Tales 27, the third appearance of Deathlock. And that's this fine copy here at $9. Third appearance of Deathlock. After defeating a stupid villain by the name of Warwolf, Deathlock tries to go back to his family in New Jersey, who quickly reject him when he appears at the door. This leads Deathlock to do the only sensible thing, and that is to try to commit suicide with his laser gun. Obviously, his built-in computer programming does not allow him to do it, so in a fit of childish rage, he breaks his laser gun. Yeah, that's it. But cool thing about it, Rick Buckler. You even get some scripts by Doug Munch, and you get a lot of really awesome Rich Buckler art. That's him on the cover as well. So that is issue number 27, fine, $9. And then we have Astonishing Tales number 28. All right, for anyone who doesn't know, Deathlock is in the future, okay? So when I tell you he is in the ruins of New York, he's fighting against cannibal gangs in a super tank operated by the brain of his lover, Nina. Even though this book was published in 1975, don't be so... there were probably cannibal gangs in a burned-out New York borough in 1975. Never forget, that city was going bankrupt. That was the soup that at least gave us hip-hop and graffiti art. I mean, and punk rock. I mean, New York was garbage. I mean, Taxi Driver. Just go back and rewatch Taxi Driver. I mean, it sure as hell wasn't that evil Giuliani's Disneyland Times Square. It was real New York, when New York was on the brink, and real creative people and people with real passion that were being ignored and left to die. They made something of it. But don't worry, this is actually in an alternate future. So don't you dare accuse Deathlock of being allegory. All right, so there we go. Deathlock, Astonishing Tales, 28, very fine, $14.
What year in the future?
Oh, probably like 2008.
Jason said 2025. I didn't know if is that true? Is it 2025?
Is that true? 2025?
We got a few years left. Oh, there's an election in a couple, so
probably, yeah, I know.
Probably it's pretty close.
For all we know. Hey, last summer sure looked like we were heading back to cannibal gangs. All right, next up is Astonishing Tales 33. All right, he's continuing his search to find anyone who can fix his body. Deathlock discovers a mansion containing a clone of his original body, as well as a mysterious surgeon named Hellinger, because that sounds like a name you should trust. At the same time, his mortal enemy, Riker, has merged completely with the Savior Machine. Think about that for a moment. What do you think of when you hear the Savior Machine? don't be offended, anybody, but I think of evangelical Christianity pretty much turning Facebook into the savior machine.
Man, you could make the argument for any kind of organized religion.
Yeah,
As
the savior machine. Come on, people. Good Lord. All right. So we're going to move on from Astonishing Tales to jump into a little Marvel 2-in-1. Now, this is a very early Ghost Rider appearance. This is a very weird issue. So Ghost Rider is driving down some highway in Arizona, and he almost runs over the three wise men. At the same time, what's going on? So the Thing and Ghost Rider end up on Christmas Eve investigating a near-perfect recreation of biblical Bethlehem located on an Indian reservation in Arizona where they fight tornadoes and the Miracle Man. All right, so I'm going to say a couple things real quick. Call me virtue signaling. I don't give a damn. But I think it's quite telling that on an Indian reservation, they recreate a biblical Bethlehem. Let's call it allegory, people. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know if Steve Gerber knew what he was doing, but I've read a lot of Steve Gerber comics. I'm going to say I'm not making a leap here, all right? Okay, I might get canceled for this illusion, but I'm pretty sure Steve Gerber knew what the hell he was doing, because that dude wrote very amazing satirical comic books. And the fact that the Thing and Ghost Rider have to fight a bunch of fake biblical Christians who are secretly like magical Indians, like villains. Anyway, it's illustrated by Sal Buscema, and you get a really cool Gil Kane and Joe Sinnott cover. This is Marvel 2-in-1, number 8, very fine plus, and very fine plus at $12. And again, this is technically a very early appearance of Ghost Rider. He still not had his own series. He's still popping up primarily in Marvel Spotlight.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. And then you get a fun little book where the Puppet Master, post-plastic surgery, pretty much uses Thor to attack the FF. And the Thing and Thor fight a bunch. Steve Gerber, with the help of Chris Claremont, wrote this issue with some art by Herb Trimp, and again, another really cool Gil Kane cover. This issue is a very fine minus at $9.
Did Gerber do a lot of the 2-in-1?
Oh yeah, a lot of the 2-in-1. Yeah, that was all Gerber. All right, here we get an awesome Jack Kirby cover. Here we go. This is Marvel 2-in-1 number 12 from 1975. The Thing and Iron Man discover revived Prester John, who I guess was a character who popped up somewhere else. In an ancient cavern. Believing himself to be a god and the creator of the universe, Prester John uses the Stone of Power to control the heroes with the purpose of using them to take over the world. For anyone who doesn't recognize the Stone of Power, at the end of this issue, it was destroyed, but that was fake because the Stone of Power ends up being a very important MacGuffin used in the Avengers Defenders War a couple years after this. This was written by Bill Mantlo with art by Ron Wilson. Obviously, I pointed out the Jack Kirby cover. All right. And then we have Marvel 2-in-1 number 27. Now, here's a little bit of connection to our Strange Tales and to our Astonishing Tales. Because in this issue, Mentallo and the Fixer pull Deathlock from the future with the intent to assassinate the newly elected Jimmy Carter. That's right. The peanut farmer, Jimmy Carter, is going to get assassinated by Deathlock. But don't worry, the Fantastic Four and Nick Fury arrive at the inauguration ceremony to prevent Deathlock from assassinating the president. Despite trying to fight his programming, Deathlock actually shoots the president. Uh-oh. I know that for some people that was a hope and dream. Sorry to disappoint you people. Anyway, don't worry, because after defeating Mentallo, Fixer, and Deathlock, the dead president is revealed to be none other than the Impossible Man, which, as many of you might have heard me say last week, is confirmed to be also Mr. Mxyzptlk of Superman fame. Anyway, very fine copy, $5. All right. And then you get an issue of Marvel 2-in-1 28 with the Thing and the Submariner. The Thing and Alicia Masters are at that point traveling to England to drop off the body of Deathlock to be examined. The Thing and Alicia Masters are contacted by Namor to help him defeat the Piranha, who ends up being a school of piranhas that became one person. I don't fully get it. At one point, Alicia is captured, leading to Namor and the Thing being forced into a battle to death with one another. This was also written by Marv Wolfman, who wrote the previous issue, illustrated by Ron Wilson, with a Gil Kane cover.
So apparently the 2-in-1 was the epilogue to the Deathlock series. So his appearance, so that was...
Yes, because we are going to lead... Okay, I'm going to talk about a key issue, and then we're going to talk about... Yes, this issue is going to be a part of that.
Settle down, Zayna. It's coming. Just relax.
Oh, no, because Zayna, I do want to hear more about it. I just want to... let me get this key issue out of the way, and we'll talk about this one here. All right, so this one here is Marvel 2-in-1, number 30 from 1977. This is the second appearance of Spider-Woman. She's under the thrall of Hydra, and they fight atop the Big Ben. So at this point, Thing and Alicia Masters are hanging around England, dealing with the whole Deathlock thing, and she is sent, again, Spider-Woman, who's still under the thrall of Hydra, to take out the Thing. I have no idea why the Thing was some danger to Hydra, but hey, second appearance of Spider-Woman. She still is wearing the costume where her hair is now. Anyway, this is a very fine mirror mate copy at $20. And then this is the issue that I'm pretty sure you're referring to, Zainin. Even though it takes it's a few years later, you get a really great George Perez and Terry Austin cover. This actual book is pretty cool. This is another key of the Marvel 2-in-1 era, and we are specifically talking about Marvel 2-in-1 issue number 54 from 1979. This is the issue where the Thing and Quasar fight Deathlock and Project Pegasus. Later, they team up with Black Goliath to take on Nuclo, which is a terrible name. While back in New York, Thundra practices to be a female wrestler by going up against the Grapplers, characters by the name of Titania, Poundcakes, Letha, and Screaming Mimi. And to be honest with you, Poundcake sounds like a great female wrestler name. Also, Death of Deathlock. All right? This is written by Mark Grunwald, Ralph Macchio, and this is the issue with John Byrne and Joe Sinot's art. So again, this is the epilogue to the Deathlock series because they didn't know what else to do with them, and they killed them off. And it wouldn't be until, I think, the mid to late 80s where Dwayne McDuffie brought him back. Let me know. What do I know?
Can I get that 2-in-1?
Oh, yeah, this one here. Let's just look at that. That's a really cool cover. George Perez, Terry Austin, and then you get John Byrne and Joe Sinot in the interiors.
So thank you, Mr. Kiernan. Zainin, if you want this, he's throwing it to you if you need it, but I think we're probably good.
All right, cool. Now, what do we got? Okay, so at that point, we are out of time, meaning that we are about to hit our drop dead time, which I think is in 2 minutes. Yeah, so it's real close. Okay, so I want to quickly say, again, thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. We always appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to check us out throughout the week, I'm going to try to keep up with this as best as possible. Do something every day at the FJC Paradox on Instagram. Also, you can see us back here on our Facebook, the Fat Jack's Comicrypt Facebook page, Sundays, 4:30 to 4:45-ish. Also, you can meet us back here on The Experience, Sunday nights, 6 to 8. Also, Al and Mike on the Comic Book Shopping Network tomorrow, Monday. They have a 12 to 1.
12 to 1 and 4 to 6. You can watch for free. If you want to purchase something, you have to be registered or, email us or give us a call. We'll be here.
All right.
And then the big guy Tuesday.
Well, no, but this Tuesday, I am going to be with Al on the Comic Book Shopping Network from 10 to 12. We're going to be doing whatever the hell we do.
You know what Mike does? He's going to be doing that.
Yes, I'll be doing that. I will probably just not talk a lot. I promise. No, I won't.
Mr. Williams, you got your Nexus. Don't worry about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't get to any of the bundles. So anyone who is interested in some bundles, We got plenty of other books we didn't get to. I didn't even get to any of the Rick and Morty premieres tonight. That's really cool.
Nobody's watching that. We got something else to watch.
Yeah, well, yeah, the big thing is Sixers, please, I need this. I don't know. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's really difficult if I don't get to bed at night. If I'm not going to get any sleep, I would like to at least not get sleep because I'm happy, okay? Also, when Zane and I get together on Fridays and we commiserate about the week, if our Philadelphia sports teams have sucked it, then Zane and I, we hit each other a lot. And Zane, I don't want to have an abusive relationship anymore, man. You're my bud. You're my pal. Let's be in it together. Philly versus everybody. Only when it comes to sports. I mean, again, we're going to do it all together. But very provincial, Philadelphia, go Sixers, all that fun stuff. Thank you, everybody, again. Take care. Be well. I don't know. Peace.